So I saw the writing was on the wall in terms of being a relevant recording act then. And that's why I kind of went, what else is out there for me? You know?
So you had Music for Cougars after that.
Yeah. I went to Extra for a while.
So that was in between here. So E came after this.
Yeah. In Pursuit of Leisure came out in 2003. And we went on tour with Matchbox 20, played arenas. And I still felt like I was...
Oh, you went on hiatus for 7 years or something like that.
We never went on a hiatus. That's kind of the misconception. We always kept playing.
But not making albums.
Yeah, we weren't making records, but we still played 50, 75 shows a year.
Gotcha.
But I had a full-time job at Extra. Some of the guys in my band after In the Pursuit of Leisure had kids, and they're like, we want to slow down. I think they kind of saw that the writing was on the wall as well. And they said to me, we just don't want to be in a touring, recording, the hurricane.
Whole fucking cycle, man.
We want to see the kids. We want to just, we've made a couple bucks and we just want to revisit this a little bit. I go, all right, let me see what's out there. And some people had called, and I go, let's return some calls. And Extra was one of those calls.
It's crazy.
Called them on a Friday, just going, I'll take a meeting. Of course, my manager knew if it was going to be an audition, I would never go. But it was an audition.
Wow.
So I went down there and they're like, hey, Mark, how you doing? Great. Do you want to see the stage? They were in on it too. I go, yeah, I'll see your stage. I don't care. And so I went on the stage and they go, here, take the mic. See what it feels like. I go, I kind of got to go, but all right. And I go, hey, the stars were out in Hollywood last night. Let's see what's going on with Jerry Venagoli. And I'm like, all right, thanks, you guys. I'm just kind of having fun and playing with it. I go, all right, see you later. 2 weeks later, I am hosting an entertainment news show called Extra.
Fuck,
I didn't even know what was happening. And I had to learn. I talk about learning as we go. My whole life has been learning after I get the job, right?
Yeah, dude.
I had to learn to write songs after we got signed. I had to learn how to host after I signed on to Extra, because on stage, you guys know, we're making these big, gigantic gesticulations. You're trying to hit the last kid in the back venue, and you're trying...
Everything.
TV is very subtle.
Swearing on stages, everything.
All that stuff.
And on TV, you can talk a little bit slower and articulate and
I have a problem talking slow, as you've noticed. I'm a total spaz, and I need to gesticulate.
It must have been hard, yeah.
Right. Clint Eastwood made a career out of raising an eyebrow, So I had to slow it way down. I think my wife's here, too.
No, what the fuck's out here? So was that fun?
Entertainment news. The genre, it's light, it's easy. I've never seen people work harder in my life. You show up there at 6 a.m, there's no show. These people put a show together on the fly, news is breaking, and they work so hard. So it was a great experience to see people work hard and let me slow down my life and become normal for a second.
Yeah.
I had a commute. I had a job. I had a responsibility. I remember my first question was, is it Monday through Friday? It's every day? That was a big caveat for me.
Because you hadn't worked since when before the band? Do you remember your last job before that?
My last job was in 1991.
Damn,
man. So I'm like, every day. It's like the jerk Steve Martin. He hates these cans. So you got to work every day. That was my big. Like, hey, I might be a deal killer.
Right.
But then it gave me some structure. I remember driving, and guess what? I drive by Atlantic Records every day.
Holy shit,
which
man.
was so crazy. So I had a commute, and it helped me settle down a little bit.
Okay.
And then my now wife, who was my girl I met in '94, and we'd been on and off. She started coming around a little bit. I go, do you want to give us a real chance now? Things have kind of settled down a little bit. Still playing shows in the band because it's what I love to do.
Yeah.
Performing is what I love to do. But it wasn't the focus or my priority at that point. So that lasted about 4 years. And then we put a greatest hits record, or best of. I don't like to say greatest hits because a lot of those songs on there weren't hits. The best of Sugar Ray, which had Psychedelic Bee, the Howard Stern song on it. And he's like, he's the only band in the world that's ever paid me any money because he got some money off.
So awesome, though.
Because he wrote that song by himself, and it's on our best of record. That's how
man.
Not smart we are. Let's give away some. But anyway, we ended up, we never had to get the band back together because we never broke up in the first place. But we said, we were offered a record deal by my friend Josh Abraham, who runs Pulse Recording, who's just become this mega, guru, big boss dude on Pulse. It's a place called Sound Castle out in Silver Lake, but now it's called Pulse Recording. It's a really great spot. He goes, I got a studio, I got a label, come on out. So we made a record called Music for Cougars.
Yeah.
Now, the unfortunately title, that title did not have any legs. Because at this point, I was feeling myself entitling things. 1459 was perfect. Because if you hated the record, we're already making fun of ourselves. We know we got 1 second of fame.
Yeah.
I could see every critic that was waiting for the record to come out. They had 3 pages already written before they heard it.
Totally.
Oh, enjoy your last, and then reading the title and going, I'll have to delete this.
Yeah, man. So
You don't tell
clever.
someone a joke when they know the punchline.
So clever.
So it worked. It's the best title in the world if it doesn't work, and it's the best title in the world if it does work. So
Exactly.
that one got lucky.
Music for Cougars.
Music for Cougars was my band tried to dissuade me from doing it. I go, you don't know what you're talking about. It's perfect. It's going to get us some attention. Everybody's going to love it. And it just was another.
Really? Nothing? No songs up there?
There's no songs. No one even cared. It was called Music for Cougars. I couldn't even talk about it. I think the point is no one cared the new Sugar record came out.
2010. That's 10 years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Blink had Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, which was so fucking clever, man.
Amazing.
And I never got that 2 years later. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. It's incredible.
Which is so great. It's so clean that it's the dirtiest thing ever.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
This one's interesting. Little Yachty.
Little Yachty.
And there's a rapper. I think it's amazing you called it that.
Well, again, we've kind of gone into sort of a yacht rock, if you will, of the 90s. When you think about bands like us, Beachy, and so I would never call us yacht rock, but I said, we try to make a couple of yacht rock songs on that.
Okay.
There's a song called California Gold and a song called Coconut Bay that we worked with our bro Sam Hollander.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Sam. He's a East Coast cat. He lived in the city. He co-wrote that big song by Panic at the Disco.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
High hopes for living, and he co-wrote the Fits and the Tantrums big song. I can make you, clap, clap, whatever it was.
I know what you're talking about.
Gigantic pop songwriter. So he helped write those because he's a huge music fan and gets sort of like the novelty to all. So we had a couple yacht rock bangers on there, if you will. So we called it Little Yachty, of course, because there's a rapper. As you know, you're a big fan.
Yeah.
And my dream was that Little Yachty would see it, and by God, first week he comes out, he hits me up and he goes, we got a collab. This is so great. I'm honored. So that record was made. It sold 5 copies, but Lil Yachty reached out to us.
So you did a remix with him or something?
Well, I would love to. And I didn't press him on it because I'm like, I think he was being kind. I actually said, dude, I'm the guy that's going to actually follow up on this,
Yeah, man, that'd be sick.
But we'll see. But really nice guy and super lovable, great, very super talented. So he's the guy that would do it, believe it or not. So that was fun to come out, and we did a song. Our manager's son is Harry Fraud. You ever heard of Harry Fraud?
I think so, yeah.
La Musica de Harry Fraud.
Yeah.
He did shock callers with French Montana.
Okay.
And he's worked with he's just like he's the biggest underground producer that really hasn't become a superstar yet.
Got you.
But that was our manager's son. So we did a track with him, and it ended up becoming one of our biggest streaming singles off Lil Yachty.
Wow.
Yeah, it streamed about almost 3 million for us.
What's it called?
It's called Good Lovin'.
Okay.
Yeah, and because his name was on it, check it out. So it's great.
That's awesome. I'm gonna go back to Extra for a second. Do you have a whole new perspective of like shows like that and that kind of job, like being like a person like on screen all the time? Was it such a different transition to being on stage singing?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's a lot more subtle. I had to learn on the job. My first couple shows, I was like a deer in the headlight, just scared.
I was
you could
gonna say
see
nervous,
me shaking.
yeah.
Oh, you could see. I didn't know what to do with my hands, so I'd be like, Welcome to Extra. I go, where do I put my hands? And I started like doing this, like, hey guys, 'cause I saw a newscaster do this, like I'm holding my pinky, like, and I was forcing that. I didn't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre because it's the last thing you would think of, like on stage or anything, So it's so subtle. And I remember this so clearly. I was about 6 months into it, and I was getting a little bit better. I never became a great host at that. It takes a special skill. You got to love it. And my hat's off to people who do it. They're really good at it. Billy Bush's, Mario Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
They're born to do it. They're really good at it.
Yeah.
And there's also a hustle to it, which I'm very bad at. Like, hey, Tom Cruise, can I get on the plane with you to You're filming Mission Impossible, right? Can I get on the plane and fly to China and interview? There's a total.
Damn.
And I'm the worst. I'm the worst.
You had to hustle too. They hustled for you and set the things up.
They knew I wasn't going to do that stuff.
Okay.
So I said, look, I will host.
Yeah,
I don't want to
weird.
I don't want to be doing interviews because I suck at them, because it's kind of tough asking Al Pacino what he thinks about Kevin and Brittany breaking up.
Yeah, exactly.
And the exact thing he said to me was, "You're better than that," and then walked away. And I went,
Wow.
A little bit of me died on that red carpet that day in Pasadena.
Shit.
But he was totally kind, and I had to ask him a bunch of questions about his play he was doing that
Okay.
I knew it was never going to make Extra. Because, Extra cares about, pop stuff. Lindsay Lohan, at least when I was there. Paris Hilton, the Kardashians, So I got to go, Al, boy, you're doing so great. Othello, it's awesome. And how do you decide who to cast? And I know we're never, and he's doing these long answers, and I go, hey, Al, I got to ask this because, we're Extra. What do you think about Brittany and Kevin breaking up? He just went, he just deflated and went, you're better than that, and just walked away. And I went, no. But you know what Extra does? They use it for the bumper. And we asked Al Pacino what he thinks about Kevin and Brittany breaking up. I go, so Al, and then they use it, and then when they show the segment, they go, Al was a little bit coy about what he thought, but they're looking forward to, you know what I mean?
Man.
So it's just a complete hustle. So I have, again, maximum respect for how hard everybody works. I mean, I learned about hard work there, I'll tell you that. That is a real job. But I remember my wife would be watching those shows, or my girlfriend at the time, or my wife now, and I'd be like, why do you watch these shows? I'd be like, I was that guy. And then I'm hosting it,
That's fucking
a couple
crazy,
months later.
man.
And the bag was good, man. I'm not going to lie,
I'm sure.
Not going to lie.
I'm sure.
That TV money's something else.
And then what about American Idol? You were like a guest judge on there too.
Yeah, I was a guest judge on that. And that was fun. It was a fun thing to do. And Simon's super cool. Paul Abdul, Randy, they're all really great. And it was at the pinnacle of American Idol. I think that was the 3rd or 4th season. So, it's almost unfathomable to think about now, but I think 37 million people watched it.
Damn, man.
It was a great new look. I was on TV at the time on
Were
Extra.
were people looking to you to do those kinds of jobs after Extra? Like, we did this, so
Yes,
okay.
definitely. They weren't looking
Put
at
you
me
in a
to.
new light.
Yeah, I'm not going to be hosting Jeopardy, but
Yeah.
Killer Karaoke, I'm available.
Yeah.
Don't forget the lyrics, I'm your guy. So the good thing about Extra is I've got this set of tools in my back pocket called hosting skills.
Yeah.
So when there's ever the best of the 90s on CNN, they'll ask me to, be part of it. And I'm really grateful for that,
Yeah, 3-time Rock and Roll Jeopardy champion on VH1.
Indeed.
So that's just, you have so much music knowledge.
I have a lot of knowledge. I do. And I have a lot of knowledge about a lot of things. And a lot of people will try and come up and challenge me. And I go, if you don't, the template of being a true Rock and Roll Jeopardy champion, think about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You got to know a lot about everything.
Yeah.
You can't, because of my winning these Rock and Roll Jeopardy championships, people that love trivia want to challenge me every second.
Yeah.
So I would be, on a bus going to a radio station in the morning to do promo for a record, and I may or may not have slept. And walking in there to the morning zoo at 7 a.m. going, all right, Rock and Roll Jeopardy champion, who was the roadie for Spooky Tooth in '68? And I'm like, all right, dude, you got me. You know what I mean? It was like, so people just want to challenge me. Check me. So don't just come at me with classic rock. You better know your hip hop. You better know your punk rock. You better know your metal. I always say, you better know your R&B. So, I think Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, if you want to come at me, don't talk to me about, Norwegian death metal, though I will Burzum your ass if I have to.
Yeah. You have a lot of hip hop knowledge too, right? East Coast, West Coast, all that.
I do. I've lost a little bit of it, though. My kids are starting to reignite it in me. You know what I mean? Because they listen to a lot of the stuff, and so I'm starting to become a big fan.
Yeah.
I know you're huge into hip hop, but
I am.
We got to do a track with the Alcoholics on
That's
that.
sick.
On that.
From the Warped Tour connection kind of thing.
No, our DJ used to work with the Licks back in the day.
Okay.
Actually toured with them as well. So there was a connection there. And then they did the Loud Rocks track. I've heard you talk about that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were able to get on there and do Make Room with the Licks, which I love. Make Room.
So that was a Loud mix, right? Where they did rock cover and hip hop?
Yeah, Loud Records goes.
So we're in the same one with you. We did Ice Cube, It's a Good Day.
That's right. That's right.
Same album.
That's right. I think they did I think it was the Judgment Night.
After that.
Yeah, they were going to go, let's Judgment Night.
Because that was big soundtrack.
It was Platinum soundtrack, exactly.
Yeah.
So that was really fun to do, really, really fun. But, I go back to my old school breakdancing days with Grandmaster Flash, Series 5, Funky 4+1, all that good old stuff, Treacherous 3. I love Cool Moe D's voice and LA Sunshine and all that. I love
Stetsasonic.
Are you kidding me? You're talking all that jazz. I've been trying to find it. I want to get a Stetsasonic Yankee starter jacket. That's mine. But you ever worn one of those starter jackets out in LA? You'll sweat through your face in it, man. They don't breathe.
It's such an East Coast thing.
It's because the Stetsasonic thing. I imagine on the back and wearing where the Yankees fits right with that. But I can't. I get too hot.
That's great. Don't Forget the Lyrics was your show awesome. I love that because we sing about Don't Forget Your Roots, but then I saw you did this thing for Don't Forget Your Lyrics. And have you forgotten lyrics before?
All the time.
Me too.
All the time.
Me too.
And I'm talking on massive hit songs. And I'll sing the I'll forget. I'll just go. I'll have a brain fart as I get older. I'll just forget. I'll sing the second verse first. Stuff
no
like that.
No teleprompters ever.
No.
Me either.
No. To me, they're so on
That's
rock and
cheating.
roll.
I know,
It's so on rock and roll. God bless if
Ozzy gets a pass. Ozzy gets a pass.
Oh, yo, for sure Ozzy gets a pass.
Yeah.
And Sinatra got a pass.
Okay.
He was the first to kind of do that, I think.
Okay.
And I go, Sinatra's using a teleprompter?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And also, like, in-ears for me, dude, I use one, and then it always comes out halfway into the first song, and it's flying around me the whole show. I can't rock with in-ears. And it's not like Sugar Ray goes out there and rocks. You know what I'm saying? I need to feel the bass. I need to feel and I also feel a huge disconnect. Like I've got two fingers in my ear because basically you have two fingers in your ear.
Yeah, it sucks.
Now, there is nobody in the world that needs in-ears more than me. Nobody. You know what I mean? Because I've had an on-off relationship with Key my whole life. Okay? But I can't do it. I can't do it. I can do one of them. I need the monitors. I like the way it looks,
I know.
So,
forgetting lyrics, man, Spark.
Yeah. Forgetting lyrics is something. I think it's happened to everybody. And, of course, calling the wrong city. Grand Falls is not Grand Forks, people. You know what I mean? And they will not let you forget it, man. You know what I mean?
What's an example of Don't Forget Your Lyrics? Like, what is it? Like, explain it to me, people listening. That show.
What the show was?
Yeah.
Is they would play a song say Ice Ice Baby. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice back and I'm all about this and something. Grab hold. And you have to close like a harpoon, diddly and lightly. And I'm ashamed I know that. But
you got knowledge.
You'd have to stop it on a song like that. You know, and so you have to finish it. And they would get harder and harder. Like, they would have 1 week by Bernard Lakers. It's been 1 week since a look I do. A chick at a china chick.
Okay.
And you'd have to go, who knows? Nobody knows.
Sorry.
Exactly.
That's hard, dude.
There's a lot of lyrics to that.
Wow.
So when we wanted to mess with you, when it was starting to get big, the big money, we put on, we Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel.
Okay.
Melon, hard,
dude.
That or REM's End of the World as We Know It. So they knew what they were doing.
Damn.
But people got it. People got it. And it was fun to do. And the greatest thing ever, Toby, SNL did a spoof of me hosting. Don't forget the lyrics.
That's kind of sick.
Because I would run around and dance and just be that cheesy host, the guy that I am. What am I talking about? The cheesy Mark McGrath.
Is it kind of cool to get spoofed on SNL? It's kind of
thought it was
sick, dude.
Jason Sudeikis did it too.
Wow.
So he goes, "Hey, I'm Mark McGrath. I'm doing this now," and that's how he did. And he goes, I'm doing this now, and kind of like threw up his hands like, I don't know why either. I'm Mark McGrath. I'm doing this now.
Dude,
and he would and he's such a funny dancer guy, so he'd be behind the thing dancing and all that. It was really funny.
That's sick to get like a skit and dissed. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm so used to getting dissed. That's the only way I get any like viral anything skits. I'll take it.
Getting dissed by Eminem would be sick too.
Yeah, that would be great, right?
To get, fuck, man.
MGK didn't think that way.
He did pretty good though.
Who do you think won that one?
I love Eminem. My son's gonna say MGK won because he loves him.
Right.
I love Eminem. I see him go at every single person. I feel like MGK had the best response that anybody's ever had against a diss track from Eminem.
Without a doubt.
He stood his ground.
Without a doubt. And
it's hard for me to say one because I'm such an Eminem fan.
What was the lyric he did? Like when you're standing yourself or something? It was the coldest lyric I've ever heard.
I know, man.
And like he almost won on that lyric alone.
I know.
You know.
But Kill Shot was really great too, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's Eminem. You know what I mean? If Eminem's coming for you and he's got half some vitriol, you're done.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he's was the best battle rapper in the world before he became the biggest superstar in the world.
I think you put Machine Gun Kelly on a different level as far as like.
Dude, you're so right.
Just everything though.
You're so
right. And now he's the #1 song on Billboard with Travis, like a pop record.
And he's Blink-182 now. He's Newfound Glory now. Yeah. He's H2O now. You know what I mean? Isn't that crazy? Yeah,
I think he comes from that world too. He loved that kind of music too.
Yeah,
skater and punk rock. Celebrity Apprentice, Celebrity Wife Stop, Celebrity Big Brother. Holy fuck, man! Third place on Big Brother.
Third place. I was just mediocre enough to make it to the finale. I wasn't a threat to anybody. I thought I'd be out of there in a week. It wouldn't be a problem. And I made it to the finale. That was cool because when you get in those shows, dude, it's another good look. Yeah. And a whole generation of kids. Like I go to the airport and 9, 10-year-old kids are like, "Hey, Mark," and I'm like, "Oh, Celebrity Big Brother."
And it's not like you reinvent yourself. You're just trying different things.
That's all.
He's still Mark McGrath. He's doing different things.
Listen,
you're not trying to be I forgot the word. Whatever. You're trying to conform to be these other things. You're just being yourself.
Right.
And that's why people want to hire you.
That's why I've always tried to do other things. It's hard to sell out when you're never sold in. We were never part of the scene. You know what I mean? We always try different things. We've worked everybody from KRS One to Wilson Phillips. You know,
Wow.
we've opened to everybody from Bette Midler to the Sex Pistols and everybody in
Damn,
between.
bro.
And to me, that's just living.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, it is.
That's living, bro.
Yeah.
So it's not for everybody, and I get it, you know, but I'm not going to let someone make a decision for me how I, A, work, or B, you know, make a living, you know?
Yeah. We were asked to be on Celebrity Wife Swap. I don't know if he was just saying we were almost going to do it. The money was great at the time.
Money's great, yeah.
Yeah, we were going to do it. Then I was going to have to go to some small town in the Midwest. I was worried about them trying to make me eat meat or my wife eat meat. We were such a tight bond, me and my wife.
Yeah.
We're best friends. We were scared about that somehow fucking up our relationship. In reality, looking back now, it probably been really fun, but it was just kind of strange to go live with another family and shit.
Yeah, definitely. And
it was good money, though.
the change
Yeah.
was gnarly. For 3
Yeah.
days, let's be honest. It was a good chunk of change. But some...
Yeah, yeah, 3 days. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did ours was I did a wife swap with Coolio, and someone neglected to tell him. Someone forgot to tell him it wasn't an actual wife swap. You don't have sex with the wife.
Wow, bro. Are you fucking
Coolio
serious?
tried to kick out my wife, and I went, I don't know if I'm offended or of course he did. You know what I mean?
Wow,
Yeah.
man.
And I love Coolio. We play these 90s shows all the time. I love the dude, but he's
Shout
like,
out to Coolio on Gangster's Paradise.
I know, right?
Sick song, bro. It's a great song.
And it's great when
Great
he
song.
also when Weird Al. He's the only guy in the world that Weird Al like did a Amish Paradise.
Yeah, he did.
And then Coolio goes, "I'm gonna beat your ass, Weird Al." He got like pissed off, and Weird Al, he flexed.
That only helps. That's another form of having Weird Al cover your thing. That's amazing.
It's
man.
gigantic. It's
I
huge.
know.
That's. I mean, look what he covers. Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Listen,
So he tried to kick it to your wife on Wife Swap.
Yeah, he absolutely did. And my wife had to leave. She's the one that had to leave.
Wow.
So I'm staying home.
How was your home where you were?
It was mellow. It was cool. And he brought a girlfriend. He wasn't even married. It was like
Okay.
who was very nice. Mimi. She was lovely. She was an exotic dancer. And she was lovely, but she had incredible parenting skills. And my kids are kind of coddled. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a helicopter dad. I love them too much. I'm totally guilty of loving my kids.
I'm
too
guilty
much.
too.
I am.
Super.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emo.
You
Yes.
got a beyond emo. Like I'm crying as I say this. But she didn't take any from my kids. Got them to sleep right away, not crying, no color.
Damn, put 'em in check.
So she was great. Put them in check right away. It was great. But Coolio got it wasn't even his house. It was like this man, and my wife's like, I'm gonna kill you.
So 3 nights she stays there.
No. She stayed there one night and goes, I'm staying.
Oh, okay.
I'm staying at a hotel. I can't.
Wow,
It wasn't
man.
Coolio's house even. It was like, Coolio goes, I don't know what the stuff is around here. She's like, can I make you some breakfast? He's like, I don't know.
But it was at your house. The other.
It was definitely in my house. Yeah, we were in
man.
my house, but Coolio was like some other. It was crazy. It was so Coolio. And unfortunately, I run to Coolio a bunch of times. So we do all these shows together. I love the guy. He's like, damn, I got a lot of shit for doing that. I go, well, dude, you should have thought about that, man. People watch that. And Lifetime plays it channel now.
Okay.
So they play it in perpetuity. So they.
Wow, we're getting some royalties on that.
Yeah, you get a nice check every now and then. You should have done it, Toby.
Damn,
And you
man.
know what it did for us? It really bonded us more.
Damn.
Because you know that we are gone from our significant others, our families a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bond when you come home, that's the good stuff. you know?
Yeah. Celebrity Apprentice.
Celebrity Apprentice. I was.
Is that the one Trump was the?
Donald-
Wow,
Donald
man.
Trump.
Did you get fired? Were you fired or not?
I got fired. And I got kind of stuck in a reality show hurricane because it was explained to me by producers. There was guys and girls at first, the guys against girls, and we had won 5 in a row. Okay, and they eventually have to mix the teams together because you're down to like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to mix it so quickly. They didn't want to mix the group so quickly. So I was project manager, which is I've got to come up with the ideas for the team to finish this chore. That was
Yeah.
another show that was hard because you got to ask people for money
Yes.
all day long, and they can't write it off, and they can't ask why.
Damn,
I mean,
man.
there's so many people you can. Hey, you got 10K you can send me? I got to win this pizza contest. You know what I mean? So, I did that, and I got fired. But they brought me back, and I helped John Rich win eventually.
Wow, man.
Def Leppard played this thing and I designed the 7-Up can, like an 80s can of like a zebra
Sick.
spandex, and they put it in stores and stuff. So it was kind of cool.
Wow, man.
It was kind of cool. Now, Trump was cool to me back
Yeah.
then. I mean, I'd love to say that, he was this, that, and the other. He was fine. He was a gentleman. I didn't see him do anything untoward. The kids were super nice because they were very involved in the day-to-day.
Wow.
I mean, Ivanka Trump was like so poised and kind and well-mannered. And
What year was that?
this was 2010.
Okay, 10 years
You
ago.
know, and I always say this about, and after he fired me, he brought me to his office. He's like, you didn't deserve to be fired. You're a great player. I'm sure they're going to bring you back. I mean, they're the worst Trump.
That's
of all
pretty
time.
good, though.
I don't know how to do it. But he goes, I'll write you, and he's had me in the office for a half hour. And that's when I was like, you don't have anything else to do but talk to me. So he goes, if you ever need a letter of recommendation or something, let me know. You're a great player, Mark's Putz. He's like a little bit of gentleman, And my whole joke is I was in a room once for 8 hours with 3 people, Gary Busey, myself, and Donald Trump. And one of us is the president of the United States.
That is incredible.
Yeah, so that was it. And then he ran
Wow.
on, I used to see Trump back in the day, like in New York transvestite clubs that were kind of happening back then with athletes and everybody. He'd be hanging with the punks. Yeah, I mean, he just, I don't know. I think he ran to improve, to pump up his brand. And then he got on some rhetoric, some bullshit that really just started riding with him and working for him. And I don't think anybody's more surprised than him that he became president. I really don't.
Yeah, I remember seeing the look on his face when he won. I think he was almost like, for real.
Yeah, exactly.
Hillary was so high, then all of a sudden it just went. It was crazy.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm president. So it's been disappointing to watch. I didn't vote for the guy. I'm not political.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, it's not my thing. You know what I mean? But I just think, man, we needed a lot of humanity this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. We needed a lot. And I'm hoping we get it.
Yeah.
But my experience with him, dude, I'd love to. It was fine. He was nothing but kind to me.
Can I get some more water for him, possibly, Derek? I really appreciate your time. I could talk to you all day.
Dude,
this is awesome.
I appreciate it.
So Killer Karaoke.
Thank you, Derek.
Sharknado, The Office.
Wait. You're going to pass over Sharknado so quickly, dude? Are you kidding me?
We're going to go back. I'm just going to say them.
Okay. Thank you, Derek.
Killer Karaoke, Sharknado, The Office, The Neighbors, Workaholics. Let's go to Sharknado then. Yeah.
So,
thank you, Derek.
Derek, yeah, you're wonderful, man.
Kind
I
co-host.
appreciate it. The nicest guy in the world. So I'm in a yogurt shop in Studio City, and some guy taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "Hi, my name's Gerald Webb. I make movies for this thing. Can I send you a script? I want you to read. It's about a shark. We make kind of these fun little shows." And I go, "Oh yeah, you can send it to me." Sends me the first draft of Sharknado, first draft, and I read it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the character he wants me to be, and it's Finn. Now, Finn is Ian Ziering's character, so a little history here.
Oh, 90210.
Yeah, exactly. So first Sharknado, I look at it. He's on every page. There's lines. I go, you know what? I'm not good enough to act. I'm not a good enough actor to carry this movie. And I gave it back to him. And I go, I can't do this. It's too much acting for me.
Holy shit.
So I tapped out of the first Sharknado. I was asked to be Finn. Hi.
Wow.
I was asked to be Finn, and I gave it back. And then Sharknado's went, boom, blew up all. And then they go, "Will you come back now?" I go, "Sure. What do you got?" So I became Finn's best friend in the movie that was shot in New York City.
Okay.
In the coldest winter they've had there in 60 years.
Holy
shit. We're at Met Stadium and we couldn't get the lines out. I met Vivica Fox going, and she couldn't get the line out. It was so cold.
Holy shit.
And so I did that, and that blew up. It was crazy. And I was in 3 and 6 too. So
Jesus, man.
Cheesy, fun, and just a part of when social media and juggernauts and phenomenons all come to an intersection, you get Sharknado.
Yeah, but what a crazy ride, man.
It's been crazy, Toby. It's
dude.
I put it this way: I listen to every bad idea.
Yeah, just to hear them out, right?
Just to hear them out. But just to see how crazy it is. Do I want to
take every meeting? Listen.
Does it scare me?
Yeah.
I just did a thing for Robert Smigel. Did this thing called "Let's Be Real," and it was after the election, and it was the puppets. He had and it was with James Corden, and he wanted me to do a carpool karaoke with James Corden and Kanye West.
Wow.
And I go, "Of course I'm going to do that.
Dude.
You kidding me? Sign me up right away." Well, the joke was on me because Corden and Kanye were puppets.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm the guy that showed up.
Holy shit,
and I'm
dude.
like, cool, I'm here with Kanye and James Corden. I'm going to do carpool karaoke.
Oh my!
But then I went, Robert Smigel, he's Triumph the Insult Dog. So I kind of quickly figured it out. But then it scared me because it's acting and like acting with puppets I'd never done. So I like to do things that scare me.
Yeah.
Now, it's a funny joke. They finally had me like, because I do a cough and he has me move back in the back seat. Then I do another cough and he has me strap down on top of a Suburban. Like, it was fun to be a part of. So I like to do things that scare me, and acting scares the hell out of me. Still does.
Yeah. You like the challenge, man.
Yeah, the challenge.
You're
for sure.
still pushing and challenging
Absolutely.
yourself. Camp Freddy, you did.
Camp Freddy, which is now Royal Machines.
Yeah, Royal Machines and the Wonder Girls.
Would you ever want to do Royal Machines?
Well, what did it tell me about it? What is it?
Royal Machines is a
Well, Camp Freddy originally, yeah.
It was originally Camp Freddy. Now it's called Royal Machines, and it's Josh Freese on drums.
Great guy.
Greatest guy,
Great
greatest
drummer.
drummers of all time.
Sweet human.
It's sometimes Steve Stevens plays guitar. Dave Navarro plays. Chris Chaney on bass, who's probably the best player in the world. Billy Morrison, who's like a bon vivant around town.
From the Cult? No.
Yeah. Billy Morrison's Cult. Yeah, Billy Morrison's Cult. Yeah, I forgot he's in the Cult for a second.
And Billy Idol, right?
And now he's in Billy Idol's band as well.
Yeah.
So Royal Machines is like we'll play these corporate shows and stuff, and we'll play with Billy Idol, Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, Cypress Hill will come down. We've had Skinhead Rob. Me and him have done Fight for Your Right a bunch of times.
Nice.
You know,
Shout out Rob. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, Rob's the best, man. I love that dude. And we've just had so many amazing people down there, and we just play cover songs.
Okay.
I played everything from Killing Joke to It's Tricky with DMC, dude.
Wow,
like the
man.
craziest things. It is so much fun, but we're always looking for people to join.
That'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah,
come out, do a song, and we've had Billy Corgan, everybody. So it's become this thing that was originally done for like a charity about 15 years ago. I wasn't part of the first show, but they asked me to come and do a few songs, and I never left. And now I'm part of the band. So it's a really fun thing to do, and to. I'm a Sex Pistols fan beyond belief, as you know. I got to play EMI with Paul Cook on drums, Glenn Matlock on bass, and Steve Jones on guitar.
It's freaking awesome.
And I looked around. I go, it might not get much better than this in my life right now.
Bro.
So Royal Machines, we played with Lou Reed before he passed. I mean, so
Wow.
I'm talking that band has given me more dreams come true. It's just been phenomenal. So if you guys ever want to come, we're always looking for new folks, man.
So
always.
Why did it change the name from Camp Freddy to Royal Machines?
Matt Sorum was originally in the band.
Matt Sorum,
yeah, and there was a bit of
something with the
Matt
name.
Sorum not being in the.
Okay.
It was a trademark thing. Matt owned part of it, so they had to change it because Matt wasn't. Matt decided to do the Kings of Chaos or something different.
Okay. You have any
Sweetest dog in the world.
Do you have any regrets in your life? It seems like you don't.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of regrets. I got a lot of personal regrets I would probably bore your listeners with.
What's a big one?
Letting my wife down.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? There's things I wish I've done better, and been better at.
Yeah.
And not necessarily having to do with like infidelities, though there were those as well. One thing I really regret, and this is going to sound very superficial, but it has to do with bands and might be a lesson learned for people. I regret giving away publishing and songwriting to band members just because they were in the band. Now, at the time, I did it for group love.
Totally.
Group unity.
Everything equal.
Right. You weren't involved in the song. You didn't show up. You didn't write anything. You didn't even play on it.
Yeah.
But you're getting 10% of the songwriting and publishing in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know what that meant until, songs like Fly Every Morning and Sunday started bringing in, take care, brother. Nice to meet you, man. Started bringing in.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. We started bringing millions of dollars.
And has since then. And there's been offers for the catalog. And I'm like, oh my God. And I go, and now, I kept the band together 23 years. I'm happy with the original, but man, that was and by the way, it was a little bit of ignorance because I knew about publishing and song. I knew what it meant, but I thought it would be enough to like not have resentment in it. But boy, was I wrong, because now people wanted more when they saw what they were getting. It's never enough. Well, I should be getting like 25 now because I am a full, you didn't write a single thing.
Yeah,
it's that age old. It's that probably the third scene in Behind the Music and then they started fighting.
Yeah.
And then the lawyers came in. It's that stuff. Every band goes through their own weird bullshit dynamics.
Totally.
But that is something in retrospect I wish I didn't do, because it bit me in the ass. The people were no longer in the band or aren't grateful. Actually end up getting a legal situation, and it's just a drag, And it's. I hate to be superficial and talk about money, but it was a lot of money, man. When
I'm
you're talking
sure.
about giving away 20% of flyer every morning, you're talking about millions of dollars. At the end
Yeah,
of the day,
dude, that's fucking crazy.
So I'm not bitter at all,
Yeah.
Toby.
You don't come off bitter.
But the thing is, though, so grateful that they exist. You know, you asked, do I regret? Yeah, I regret doing that. I wish I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But do I wake up every morning at night shivering? Yeah, I do.
But it sounds like you have a real one with your wife. Like, she's been there through all the shit, and she's, you guys separated, came back, and have kids now. Like, she was the one, man. And like, she had your back through all of it.
By far.
And that's like a best friend. That's a great thing to have, man.
You know what it is, man. And if your significant other isn't your best friend, and I know you're like, of course they're my best friend, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about your best friend. Can't wait to tell the bad news, or you have to tell the good news. You have to, it's like, it's like gangster with it. I hate to sound cheesy, but it's that you can never sever that tie. And it's a special thing to have. And we tried to ruin it. Both of us did our best at ruining this thing. We tried to destroy it. But yeah, when we got signed to Atlantic Records, we had nothing. We were on a allowance of $100 a month.
Damn.
Nothing. And I was so embarrassed. She would roll pennies into the dollar things, so she could go to Del Taco and get us 3 tacos for 99 cents. And I was too embarrassed to walk in there with the penny roll.
Damn.
She would do it because she's about that life.
Yeah, and you're still in that Del Taco life.
Oh, you have no idea. These boobs didn't make themselves, dude.
One funny thing is that you do look like Ethan Hawke.
I've got that a lot.
And he knows that you look like him. And you guys have sort
Do
of...
you know him?
No, but you guys have some sort of inside kind of thing or something. Like, sometimes he actually... I saw something about it.
There's
he knows... You guys know each other.
Right. Well, I don't know him. You
ever met him?
I've never met him.
But you look like each other, and so people know that.
The strangest thing in the world, when Training Day came out,
Great fucking movie.
Such a great movie. I guess I was looking like him or resembling him hardcore at that time, because I would go through airports and people go, I know who you are. And I go, I know you do. I know you do. And he goes, I love the movie. And I'm like, movie? Oh, Scooby-Doo. Yeah, I was in Scooby-Doo. And they go, Training Day. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. And they go, that was you. And then I go, promise you. She goes, just do me a favor. Sign. This is, not everybody had a phone. Sign a little something. I won't tell anybody. I go, I'm not Ethan Hawke. I promise. And she's like, oh, be like that. And then got seriously pissed at me.
Wow.
So guess what I started doing? Signing Ethan Hawke's name so people wouldn't think he was a dick.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely. Because I'm like,
point.
I started signing his name because I felt so terrible with the exchange. Because I usually go through with a hat or something like that, because I got this douchey highlight still, So it cuts down the recognition factor a little bit. And so they're like, I see being all low key. And so I go, oh my God, I don't want people to think he's rude. Another time, TMZ, they're in New York. The guy goes, hey, Mark. And he's like coming up behind Ethan. He goes, Mark. And you could see Ethan knew what he was talking about. And he turns around and he goes, dude, I'm not Mark, dude. And the guy goes, oh, sorry. And didn't even know it was Ethan Hawke and just carried on.
Wow.
That was on TMZ. This is the worst one. Now, Katie Couric was really good friends with the girl that got me my job, Lisa G at Extra. Really good friends. So I'm new to Extra, and they're just trying to get all the promo they can. Ethan Hawke is on with Katie Couric on the Today Show. This is 2004, so she was still there. Ethan Hawke, very cerebral, artist, intelligent, writer, deep thoughts.
Handsome.
All the time. Yeah, handsome, glorious, cool. That's the biggest thing. You compare it to me, your cool thing is done immediately. So Katie Couric is sitting there talking about a book, and he's sitting there on the, the intellectual prose, and, we love your book, and it's low energy tones, it's boring and all this stuff. And Katie goes, I got to tell you something, Ethan. He's like, yes, Katie? And they do a split screen behind the man on a green screen of me and him. And he had just done some movie or something where he bleached his hair like with tips and stuff.
Wow.
And of course I had that. She goes, anybody ever tell you look like Mark McGrath? And you see a lot of him die right there at that point, and he just kind of cocked his head and he goes, yeah, I've heard that before. And he looked down at the ground. He goes, yeah, I've heard that before. I don't think it's his favorite thing in the world. And Ethan, I know you're listening. I
Number one subscriber.
I apologize, bro. I apologize, dude. But it happens a lot. It still happens. Since Reality Bites came out, it's been happening, and not a bad guy for me to get compared to.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
That is-
Ernest Borgnine might be another story, but rest his soul.
One of my questions on here is: are you optimist or pessimist? But I know the answer to that. You're super posy.
Well, you know what's weird though?
Or you're a realist.
I'm a realist. Yeah.
My wife is too. Yeah.
I've heard people say that. I will see a situation and call it what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not like sort of a Pisces dreamer where I'm like, it's all gonna get better and like new age and sage and like but though I do see the benefits of Nag Champa, man. That stuff just makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I used to be anti any hippie stuff. I was just on some weird trip like that. But yeah, I would say I'm a realist with optimistic optimism.
Okay. I respect that. I like that.
We wouldn't have to ask you, man.
Did you ever want to quit?
The band?
Yeah.
No.
Doing music?
Never. It's in my soul, man. And I always say the best way for me to go out, Denny's Barstow, right? I'm in a Denny's in Barstow. I'm doing 4 shows a night. I'm in the middle of my 3rd show, probably playing Fly for the 3rd time in that set.
Damn.
And I just have a massive coronary and go head first into someone's Grand Slam. And I'm about 78 years old.
Okay.
And I will be, this is proof. I have had the best life in the world. I can't stop performing. I did it before it was a business. I can't not do it.
Yeah. Still, yeah, man. And I think it keeps you young. I think it keeps us young doing what we love and play music. Like you look great. I know you talk about, you do this thing called robe chat. You've talked about Propecia for your hair. You've been honest about people think you had surgery because you're getting older. And I see in real life, you look like just like a guy who's aged. You look great.
Everybody
looks like it doesn't look like you have any work. You look just totally like a normal guy.
By the way, if you haven't, that's your thing. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
do your thing.
doesn't fucking matter.
This is showbiz, baby. I take Propecia. I wanted to keep my hair.
I love that you talk about that. You're honest about that.
Well, what is crazy is if I do something that has a little bit of, that people see on TV for something, I'll get the post like, even on those rope chats, like, dude, ease off on the Botox, bro. And like, dude, nice nose job. And I'm like, and my wife's an esthetician. So she does facials and she knows all about it. And we go, what is this? Look, I'm 20 pounds heavier for sure. I'll tell you that all day. But
you look great for your age.
Well,
man.
you're kind.
You're aging like
you're
normal.
Kind. But I do agree with you, man. And Derek, when you're on stage, man, I feel like I'm 21 and Justin Bieber, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you can't tell me nothing up here, even though I can't jump as high as I used to, but it does keep you young.
It does.
The job makes you feel young. The excitement you
and
get.
doing what you love, man.
Yes. When you get that mic and you're like, all right, your intro music's going on. Like, there is no bigger high. If that doesn't keep your organs young, it's a wrap.
When you feel your age, though, when you haven't played a show like in 8 months and you're in a pandemic and you can't do what you love, you start feeling like
it's crazy.
Then you got to hustle and work out and stay in shape because when you're on tour, you're like,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
The weight just flies off, man.
Yeah. Do you have daily rituals?
Not. I mean, cheat. Like I'll drink coffee. I'll drink a coffee.
Your coffee.
I heard you're a new coffee guy.
I'm no longer on coffee now since June because it didn't agree with my body. It made me super hyper, jittery. Made me shit. I have to take a shit.
Yeah.
Made me take a nap.
Yep.
It's the only drug I've ever done, and I did it. I did it straight for the month of December last year, and it just fucked me up. But I felt holding a cup of coffee with your friends and being like an adult. You feel like I feel like an adult, man.
It's a good little ritual, isn't it?
It is, but then for me it turns into a shitstorm, and it really just fucked me up, and I can't do it. It's not good for me. It makes my heart crazy. I'm high on life as enough, and that's.
You're so clean living too, dude. Caffeine. I mean,
I think it's really fucked me. Yeah.
Yeah. I drink a couple Coke Zeros a day, which I know I shouldn't. But
okay.
So like the caffeine doesn't really affect me that much. It's just more of like getting into my rhythm of the morning.
It's good for your.
Shit game. You knock your shit game. Shit game's on fire when you get coffee, man. You better have a toilet nearby, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't drink a coffee and go to New Year's Eve in Times Square because you'll be shitting your pants.
Oh, that's brutal.
I
did have an issue where I was on the coffee thing last December. I go to Runyon Cane every day, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring a coffee to Runyon because I see motherfuckers up there walking up the cement in their flip-flops, drinking their coffees like on some LA shit. But I drank it on the way there, and I had all of a sudden bubble turtle ass. I had to fucking turn around, run, and get home, man. I almost shit in the garage in a fucking bag. I swear to God.
It's called Runyon Canyon for a reason.
Exactly. I was at the point where I wasn't close enough to go take a shit in the woods at Runyon. I had to turn around and go home.
And you think, I think I can make it. I think I can make it.
Coffee.
You have those 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s, but like it's coming.
Yeah.
If you have no
code red.
Yeah, I call them 5, 4, 3, 2. It's coming wherever you are. But a ritual I do like to do because I need it for my head is cardio.
Okay.
You might not notice it by, this dad bod of mine because, look,
What's your cardio game?
Well, because of the shutdown, I went and got an elliptical machine
Sick.
and it's killer. And I used to run like 4 miles a day on the treadmill, and then I'd do like 30 minutes on elliptical. So the cardio is so good for my head.
Yeah.
It's like, think of a puzzle you have in your head, and then you start doing the cardio, you start getting that runner's high, the puzzle starts fixing itself. It's really an incredible thing, but also I'll go to Islands or something like that, or Cheesecake Factory, and I have 10-year-old twins. They both order the mac and cheese, have 2 bites. I'm like, you're not going to leave that there, are you? And just feed these dad boobs of mine, just make it happen. So it kind of evens itself out. You know what I mean? But it keeps me, I've got, my heart is good, because of the cardio I do.
Yeah.
And it's great for your mind game, man. It's great.
And being a parent now, when did you become a parent?
42 years old.
Okay.
I became a parent. I have IVF kids, which are kids created by science.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're we try to harness the regular way.
That's amazing, man.
Rim shot. Yeah, and they're twins because when you
man.
see Hollywood so-called quote unquote celebrities getting twins in the mid 40s.
Okay.
99% chance. For some reason, people don't want to admit. I don't know if it's a religious thing or a person. God bless it. But if IVF didn't exist, I wouldn't have these 2 joys.
That's amazing.
My kids. And what's weird, they're twins, but they were just born at the same time, so they're more like brother and sister. They don't have this like twin telepathy or finish each other's sentences. They're just brother and sister.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting. But yeah, so it happened at 42, and I'm really glad, Toby, because I was up in the hills there. I kind of became the old guy in the club. You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, my dreams came true, and I'm like, is that it? Is my journey over?
Yeah.
And then my now wife was like, I'm going to leave you if you don't try this process because I want to have kids. I'm just going to straight up leave you. And I'm like, I don't want to leave you. I don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
So I go, let's give it a shot. I go, we'll give it 1 shot because it's super expensive. That's how cold I am. We give it 1 shot. It's not going to work. I'll say we tried. And I was on tour, and I go home in the middle of the tour to check because we're going to seeing the doctor. And I was going to be with her to go, I'm sorry, babe, we tried. And, because I'm like, my rock and roll loads and she had her own issues. I'm like, it's not going to work. And the doctor goes, oh, I see 1 head there. And I'm like, oh my God. And she goes, oh, what's this? There's another, you're having twins. And I went,
shit.
I went from literally going, I'm sorry, babe, it's going to be a rough ride home, to like having twins. She's all excited. And it's the greatest thing in the world because I'm on a journey now.
Yeah.
This journey never ends. I hope to be a grandpa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a blessing.
It's crazy having a kid, man. It changes everything, man.
It's hard as hell. I mean, I'm not one of those, everything's, it's hard as hell. And you better be super tight with your companion, man, because it's going to bring out, the best and the worst, which is something you got to work with too.
The incredible part about having a kid for me was watching your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, that you've been with so many years and you travel the world with, and it's just you two. And then she's in labor. The next day she has the baby. You see your wife become maternal, and all of a sudden she's breastfeeding for the first time. She's like, all of a sudden she's a mother within 24 hours. You know what I mean? And then they hand you your thing. Here you go. Here's your baby. Good luck. And take this human with you.
Right. Take this with you out the door.
It's so fucking magical, man.
It's so funny you say that because I looked at her so differently. She had this superpower now.
Yeah.
That she, always had, but now it's outside.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at this. Wow, you're amazing. You're a superwoman. And to see them, how they care for the kids, and to see the bond with the kids.
Yeah.
You're funny. Like with a dad, you just go home. You're like, you're holding the baby. Like, what do I do now?
I know.
It takes a while.
It does, man. The first couple of months, I felt like, is this what it's gonna be like? Because my son only wanted the milk.
Of course.
And I was like, what is my job? Change the diapers. I'm just here for that. Like, when's he gonna see me or know that I'm his dad? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it takes a while. So you feel like a disconnect a little bit there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're so protective and you don't want to hurt him. You don't want to break him. I'm like, how do you hold him?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I've forgotten how to hold babies. I have twins now. My friend of mine had a baby and he gave it to me. I'm like, how do you hold these? You forget. It's so crazy. You have
two kids. You got two at the time. That's crazy.
Yeah, 2 kids, Lyden and Hartley, and they're in 5th grade right now.
At home?
In the kitchen, yeah.
Me too, yeah, exactly. Surreal, man.
It is surreal, dude. And I hope it's so unfair. And your son's a senior?
Yeah, man.
Which is so unfair. being robbed of your senior year, bro. And my kids in 5th grade is a very pivotal year of of learning. 5th grade's when it gets real. There's no more like, hey, Bob went on a boat. I mean, it starts getting real. And, bless the teachers. They're doing their best. Parents are trying their best. But this is really, we're going to feel the residual effects of this online schooling for a long, long time.
Yeah, I think so too, man. It sucks. My son's been out for a long time. He used to say, I want to go to school as a senior, see all my friends. And so maybe they're saying January next year it might happen. I'm not sure.
My kids go to a Catholic school, and they're talking about mid-November.
Oh, wow. Okay,
yeah, they're like we're over it. We're done, and we're gonna. We were kind of talking about it earlier, Toby. And I think people want to be rewarded with some perfect scenario because they've been quarantined so long. It wasn't perfect before COVID, so let's not look at especially in the live music business, guys.
Yeah.
It's just some of the promoters of what I've heard they're trying to do to the bands. It's like you got to be out of your mind.
Yeah, even playing with less capacity for less money, or playing a drive-through,
and carry this insane insurance. I mean, we're not all Coldplay, Rolling Stones, and Muse. I keep saying this.
It's true. It's very true.
You're going to hurt a lot of people, and
Scary.
so I hope it's kind of like. After 9/11, it was very difficult traveling. The airports there, everybody had an M16 during security, and then that slowly went away. And then security's still tough and all that, but then we went to some semblance of normalcy. Security's gnarly like it should be, but we all got used to that. I'm hoping we get back to that in the live situation. And I don't know how fast the tours are going to come back. We do a lot of the Zucchini Fest, the one-offs, and like I said, you smell funnel cake, Sugar Ray's playing. But so I think those are going to come back a little quicker than the full-fledged tours are.
Yeah, and I saw you guys just did live sounds like 1 million people watching or something, 1 million views or something.
Oh, I lied about that. Yeah,
okay.
No. Of course I did. You
just said a good live stream though, right?
I just want to say, you guys, we had 1 million streams last night. Freedom! It's a bummer. I thought people knew I was kidding because I'm a clown on Instagram.
Okay.
People are like, dude, 1 million? Congratulations.
I wouldn't be surprised though.
No, dude, no. We had a couple thousand, and I was totally stoked on them, doing it, which was great. But we're gonna do a live stream on our Facebook page coming up real soon. So
nice.
We got by the grace of God, we had a couple of corporate shows that way too.
Nice.
So it was nice to make a few bucks, during this whole craziness. We had such a good time doing it. We said, we go on Facebook. We'll do a full show.
Yeah, why not? That's the future. I refuse myself to play in these bubbles. I saw people at a show bounce around inside of a bubble. I refuse to play it at a drive-in. The music we play is so, I don't know, it's so connected to the crowd. I would go see Coldplay in my car. I would go see Adele in my car. But to see a punk show in my car, I can't do it. I wouldn't want to do it to people who came to see us. It's really expensive to do that, and I don't know.
I feel the same way if Engelbert Humperdinck is playing.
Yeah.
Because I just need the sight, sounds, and smells. One great thing about the live thing, which AI will never be able to do, you can't create the live experience. It's human, it's emotion, it's all that stuff. And I appreciate the drive-through shows. I'm glad they're happening. I think it's another step to all of us coming back.
Yeah.
When the UFC came back, and I'm like, yeah, right on, Dana White, the sports, and he's figuring out, and they're in the bubble, and then the NBA started coming back, and now the crowds are starting to watch football games. I mean, it's starting to open up a little bit, so I've got hope I didn't have 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned drive-through shows, and this is part of my crazy life. I'm doing a drive-through show. I'm going to be playing with the Beach Boys in Del Mar and Ventura.
So the Beach Boys is different too. That'd be something I go to drive. It's awesome.
Of course, right? So,
wow,
which is really cool. I've become friends with them. I've known Stamos. John Stamos plays drums a lot for the Beach Boys.
Wow.
And I did a song for Mike Love's solo record a couple years back. So we become friendly. And now he invites me to come out and play with them. Whether it's a Beacon Theater in New York, and we'll do a couple Beach Boys songs. We'll do Fly and stuff. And it's mind blowing, man. It truly
that's coming up.
That's it's October 23rd.
Is that a real show outside for fans? It's just a drive up.
Look, it's Mike Love. That's Mike Love saying, "Are you free right now, man?" Hey, look at that.
So that's the Beach Boys you're playing with.
Yeah, it's going to be the Beach Boys. It's October 23rd in Ventura, and then October 24th down in Del Mar. So what better way to play with the Beach Boys than in a drive-in?
That's sick, though.
That's some old school drive-in. The Beach Boys is perfect.
Dude, that's like a dream. That's cool, man.
It is amazing. So what is amazing is when dreams still come true for me. You know what I mean? I'm looking over the Beach Boys, and I'm sitting there playing their songs. They're playing one of our songs. I mean, come on, dude. That's
fucking crazy,
bro. That's magical stuff, dude.
So one thing I wanted to talk about, you're a survivor of the coronavirus.
Yes, indeed.
I don't have that many friends who have gotten the coronavirus. One friend in New York, he's fine. He went through it for like a week or so. He's like a healthy marathon runner. He's the first person that I knew it had only person, but then you. So when did it happen, and how was that? What was it like?
It was. It happened in July, like mid-July, and we have a lovely housekeeper who's been with us forever. She's our nanny now. I mean, she's straight up family, and she called my wife, and she's like, "I don't feel that good. I don't think I should come in." And my wife's like, "Yeah, of course not. Of course not. We've got a doctor we'll take you to, and we'll get you tested because we through all these years of sort of pseudo fame I've had. I know some of these Beverly Hills high connection ear, nose, and throat guys that get us up on stage. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put a steroid shot right there, Mark. You might not. I'll get you through tonight, but you're not singing for 2 weeks. Those guys. So he had a real quick turnaround for a COVID test, and my wife took her there, and my wife's like, "Why don't I just get tested too? I'm here. Why not?" So she had no symptoms. Our housekeeper had a little bit of symptoms. They both get tested. Boom. Call back 6 hours later, both positive for COVID.
Holy shit.
Now, the mental game is really gnarly when you get COVID. And I'll tell you why. Because B, you don't know what the hell you're in for.
No.
And I immediately called that doctor that I'm talking about. I go, "Bro, my wife's got it. I mean, what's going on? I need to know. What do I do? He goes, "It's a shit show." I go, "Yeah, no, I got that. I know it's a shit show. I know it's crazy." I go, "What do I do?" He goes, "It's a shit show. Everybody reacts differently. I don't know what's going to happen, Mark. I can give you some ideas, but it's a completely subjective disease that does what it wants. I have marathon runners that came in here and died 3 days later from it." I'm like, "Ouch." And he goes, "And I've had pre-existing condition 93-year-old ladies come in here and never have any symptoms."
Wow.
So now I'm freaking out. I'm like, well, should I get tested? I'm asking all these dumb questions. It's my wife, that I had sex with 7 weeks ago. I better get tested. Shit. Sorry, I had to. So I go, "I better go get tested." And I was feeling a little sick. Now, I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm not in my own head, but I was feeling a little down. I just wasn't when I don't want to work out, I know I'm sick.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there work out, so I go, "I'll go get tested too." So I went over to get tested. He hits me back at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Negative. I'm negative. I go, "How is that He goes, "It's a shit show." I go, "I know, you already told me that." So
the
now
testing is kind of off too, and
it's not really off. It's just nothing is guaranteed with this disease, man.
Okay.
It's crazy. So my wife is quarantined. Obviously, the housekeeper is quarantined, and she's starting to go into some symptoms now. My wife has none, and now I'm Mr. Mom. I'm cleaning now up at 6 a.m. I've always helped out a lot, so I know what to do. But it's just gnarly. My kids are on me, and there's just they can't see Mom, so now I'm getting all that mom energy, and it was fun for the first day, like hey ho, and then I'm starting to get a little bit sicker and sicker. And I start telling my wife that. And she's like, "Oh, you're just being a baby. It's because you see all the work I'm doing now." And I'm like, "God, you're mean." And because I'm totally nursing her and all that. But now she's starting to get some symptoms now.
Okay.
She's getting fevers and stuff. Nothing too bad. She's just a little achy and stuff. And then I'm about 3 days later, I'm really achy. I'm waking up with cold sweats. I know I'm sick. I go, "I know I'm sick. I'm back to that doctor. I don't care. I'm sick." She goes, "You're not sick. You just, it's just, you're tired of doing this. It's a hard job, So I go to the doctor, I get tested again, and I've never been more happy to have COVID in my life.
Wow.
I went home and I went, bam, I texted her the text I got. I go, "See?" So now I'm quarantined. My wife is quarantined. And she's got a fever. She likes to let her fever go. She doesn't like to take Tylenol. And she never got higher than 102. She had a couple really bad days where she was achy, couldn't really get out of bed. And then she lost her taste, nose, and all that, lost that. And then she started coming out of it, and now I'm in the throes of it.
Okay.
I'm hardcore. Never had any breathing problems, thank God. I think it's because I do so much cardio.
Yeah.
I really do. My lungs were fighting hard.
Good immune system.
And I was doing cardio during the throws when I was in it.
Okay.
So I think I was fighting it because I was dragging my ass on there, but I was doing it. I go, I'm
sweating it out.
Yeah, because I go, I'm either because when I get sick, I go, I'm either going to beat this up or it's a real sickness,
Yeah.
And so I was kind of doing that with the COVID. So I think that helped me a lot. So I never really had, thank God, any breathing difficulties. Our nanny ended up going to the hospital twice because she did have breathing difficulties.
Wow.
They sent her right back home. They're like, "You don't want to be here. You don't want to be intubated. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
So go home, fight it, but so they gave her like a steroid and blah, blah, blah. So she hit it a little hard on us. My wife finally came out of it. She was able to take care of me. I was sequestered for a couple of days. I tell you this, Toby, I never got so sick or if I had a gig that night, that I wouldn't have played it. I would have played it. We all know the show must go on.
Yeah.
You know, but I was beaten up. It felt like one day as someone was just, you know, speed bagging every organ I had.
Just achy.
I've never every organ achy, you know. So luckily we got out of it, and for like a week after, I was feeling really low energy, super low energy. Finally we tested negative, got the antibodies and all that. So, you know, we ended up, you know, going through it. It was a terrible, terrible flu for us, you know.
Okay.
By the grace of God. My son got it, never had any symptoms.
Holy shit.
My daughter never got it.
Wow.
And she lived in a petri dish of COVID-19, just being in our house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting.
And we had to deal with her and like feed her, even though we had our mask. We had to do something. You know, we couldn't let just a 10-year-old run wild home alone
that must have been
around
stressful for the kids too. You both had it.
You know, my son was so Fortniting out, he didn't even care.
Yeah,
He was like, as long as he didn't have any symptoms, he was fine. You know,
Yeah, but no crazy fever for you, nothing like that.
No, I was Tylenol, dude. I'm not afraid to take a Tylenol when it goes up. So I never got higher than 101. And I wasn't pressing it. I didn't want to go to 104 and go, I got to go to the hospital now. You know, so if the Tylenol wasn't working, then I would have gone.
But losing your smell or nothing like that since?
No, I lost that too. Yeah, definitely lost
wow.
my taste, smell, which is really strange.
Wow.
You lose it. You don't even notice you lose it until you're like, I can't taste this. It's very weird. It's a weird, strange disease.
And how long does that last?
And that lasted 3 days for us.
Okay.
For us. And then another week of just being kind of lethargic and lazy. And then we got through it, thank God. And then our nanny, you know, she recovered fine and everything's cool. But, you know, it's real, it's gnarly, and we were as safe as we could be.
Yeah.
You know, I think our nannies went to one get-together where there was 5 people there and there was 10 people there instead. And I believe that's how she got it, you know. That's how we got it for sure, because you have to call all your friends and go, guess what? Remember we came over to the pool with the kids, you know, and you're like, oh my God. So
did they call your house too, the contact tracing?
No one ever called.
Okay.
Which is so weird.
It's good to know. Which
makes me know that the numbers are what the numbers are for, you know what I mean? Because we never got called. And we went to one of those highfalutin doctors, you know?
I'm glad you survived it, man.
I appreciate that, man. And so am I, you know? I mean, it's... What is the scariest thing for me was the mental thing, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing how long it's going to last. You know, look, I like to think I'm a young man, but I'm 52. You know, once you I don't know if like, does that mean my organs can't fight as hard? It just the mental thing was really gnarly, man.
Yeah,
I'm super grateful we got through it all right, and I hopefully we're done. You know, but I've heard of people getting it again.
Yeah.
So.
I heard about this kid who got it like twice in like 48. I don't know what it was. Maybe I'm wrong. I read something yesterday. Some young kid got it twice.
In 48 hours, you said?
No, 48 hours. Maybe it was 40. I don't know. Maybe, who fucking knows? There's so much shit I'm reading.
Nobody got 40, it twice.
Yeah. First time was fine. Second time really knocked him out.
Great. I mean,
but I think once you beat it, you beat it. Who knows, man, what that even is?
Yeah, no, it's you know what's the weirdest thing is it's political too. It's like it's so bizarre how that works. You know, it's a real disease, man. I was like happy to jump on and let people know.
Yeah, I love that you did that.
This thing is real. I want you to take care of yourselves, be safe. You know, we were safe as could be, man. You know, it was safe as could be. You know, we weren't going places and we got it, you know. So
she saw somebody else and brought that back, kind of, right?
She is super responsible. She's a family member. She goes, I'm going to get together. She had like 3 family members and 2 other people. She told us about it. Let us know. It turned out like 10 other people came. We really didn't know. And she was super. She left, you know, quickly, and it just happened that easy, you know. So,
yeah, I'm sure she felt bad. It's not her fault.
Yeah, she felt terrible, you know. But she's family, so it's not even a thing.
Yeah,
you know.
Final question: Top 5. You have a top 5 anything? Top 5 artists. Top 5 top 5 inspirations. Do you have any bands or anything?
Yeah, definitely. And not necessarily in this order, okay? I'd have to put the Sex Pistols.
Yes.
The Beastie Boys.
Ooh.
The Cult.
Great band.
I love the Cult. The Beach Boys and Guns N' Roses.
Wow, man.
The first record, man.
Incredible,
Try and touch that as a greatest hits.
Yeah.
I'll take your band's greatest hits, and I don't mean anybody here. Any band's greatest hits versus Appetite for Destruction.
No, that's a great point, man. And it's still like one of the highest selling records too.
Of course. I mean, it's just that gnarly record. I like your top 5 rapper thing. You know, my favorite rapper of all time, MC Ren.
Wow, man. Nobody ever mentions him in the fucking top 5.
Love his voice, his tone, his attitude. He feels like he's going to get to your speaker and punch you in the face. The way he delivers is,
Yeah.
And the DOC I love too. Back in the
DOC
day.
is great. We listen to DOC a lot. DOC is awesome. Yeah.
Love the DOC. It's a bummer.
It's sad because he was supposed to be got
He
a
was
car
the guy.
accident
He was
and
next.
fucked his throat up, whatever.
The grand finale. I mean, that song is that's the best of NWA and DOC right there.
Yeah,
It's so
Derek turned me on to that song a couple months ago. We were working out, listening to it. It's a great song. I didn't even knew that song.
That
Great
song,
Grand
every
finale.
lyric, like they were just topping each other. Everyone that came in, Ice Cube's killing it, then Ren kills it. Oh,
Did you ever like Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul?
oh God, yes, I love
Wu-Tang.
that. I love Wu-Tang. I love Mess Voice. I love Cool Mo D. I love
Great
LA
Cool Mo D.
Sunshine. I love the old school stuff. But yeah, Rakim, I
Best.
mean, it's just you can't even. That's
One of the fucking greatest.
Everlast.
Yeah, man.
Everlast. I talk about an underrated MC. His lyrics
Yeah.
are some of the best lyrics. I mean, Everlast super underrated MC. I mean, I know
would
he's
say so
huge,
too, yeah, I would say so
but
too.
he's huge for what people know. But
Yeah.
what people don't know, man, as a lyricist and a lot of his acoustic solo stuff, this guy's
Great,
got some
man.
Bob Dylan, Johnny Cash depth to it, man. Really,
Yeah,
you
such
know?
a wide range for him. Talent.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. We fucking covered a lot. Dude, 2 hours and 44 minutes.
That was not 2 hours and 44 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, bored the shit out of your listeners.
No, you did. This is incredible. Yeah, I would say that, yeah, man, you fucking lived your dreams. You've kept the PMA your whole career. You've never quit. You believed in yourself always. You tried different things. You live life to the fullest, man. You've been through are you sober now?
No, I will have a drink. I like my Jameson every now and then. There's been problems in the past. I've had with things, but yeah, no, I finally learned how to drink like a gentleman, Toby, if that's even possible.
No, that's true. Yeah.
I should be probably, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I forgot Frank Grillo said what he drinks. I don't know, it was like some fancy wine. Like he doesn't do anything else except for this one thing he does now. Yeah. Everybody has
He's the coolest guy in the world. Of course he does.
Everybody has their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, that's the way I look at it. I'm an Irishman too, so it's it's in my DNA, man. There's a long list, a long lane of green Irish tears behind the mistakes I've made drinking.
But here you are, and you're alive, and you have an awesome family and a wife, and still doing what you love, and you guys are still here. The band never broke up.
Yeah, and I'm Toby. I'm super grateful to be on this podcast, and you bring a lot of joy to a lot of people and a lot of knowledge.
Thank you.
Listening to Jimmy G.
Yeah,
Jimmy G was awesome, man. That's how I first found out Murphy's Law, because I'm such a Beastie Boys fan. I heard they were opening up for Beastie Boys.
Wow.
And I went, who's Murphy's Law? I need to know this. And I bought that first self-titled.
Holy shit,
Crucial
man.
Barbecue and
Damn, bro.
A Day in the Life and all that stuff. And I'm like, I loved his whole personality.
He's an incredible frontman. One of the greatest frontmen of all time, man.
You say he's a stand-up comic. He is.
Yeah,
he's
man.
unbelievable.
Yeah, Jimmy G's the best. Shout out to Jimmy Gestapo, man.
Yeah, but just getting back to you real quick, Toby. It's just a pleasure, man. You bring joy and a positivity that's so much needed, and you just raised the flag hardcore for what you do, man. So I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I'm glad we reconnected, man.
Me
This
too,
is
man.
Awesome, man.
Stoked.
I haven't seen you in years, man. But it's crazy. We come from we come from the same world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And those worlds eventually will lead to each other.
Yeah. So people listen to the podcast and they'll be like, if they see the photo of Mark McGrath, like, yeah, motherfucker, he comes from where we come from. That's why I loved having a Will.i.am on here, because he came from the Warped Tour and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
of course.
We all cross paths throughout our careers, regardless of where we
Absolutely.
come from. We all on the same path. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's important to know that. And it's just music, and it's 12 notes, and it's how you rap it. And it's people ask about guilty pleasures, man. I don't have any.
Me either.
Love music.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not afraid to tell the world I love Coldplay and Katy Perry. I have an Adele tattoo.
Yeah.
I fucking love Madonna tattoo. I fucking love all that shit. You know
Of
what I mean? I
course.
love pop music.
It's great. It's good stuff, you
And
know.
I feel like you can't be in one genre and only listen to one genre.
Well, it's funny. I used to listen to the Damned, Sex Pistols, the Clash, and 999, and that defined me. And then someone broke my heart, and Air Supply songs started making sense, and I'm like, I get it now. I get it now.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude, music's so powerful, man.
It's the best, dude, and that's why we miss it. The live stuff. I miss hearing it live. I miss having my wig blown back. You know.
So there's a reggae band that plays by my brother Todd. You know my brother Todd too. He's in the Osprey now.
Yeah,
he told me to say hi. By his house over the hill over there in the valley, there's a reggae band called Jagun. They play every Saturday for free in their front yard. Everybody comes social distance and dance in the streets. They do covers covers of Jimmy Cliff and Bob Marley. And we went this Saturday, and Buja Banton was there.
No.
Just there, like singing, performing in this freaking cul-de-sac. It was amazing, man. I'm gonna hit you up about it. It's reggae. It's outside. People have their kids in the streets. It's super positive vibes, man.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Did he do some songs?
He did. His wife was singing some of his songs. And the thing about this COVID thing, my brother never knew that was his neighbor until this shit happened. All of a sudden, his neighbor's playing reggae, and now they're good friends. You don't realize who's on your block until everybody's out in the streets and trying to do creative things. And
that's so awesome.
Yeah, so like my brother performs with them and plays a couple of songs.
Hit me up. I'd love to just come by and say hello.
It's a really good vibe, man.
He's got that gruff voice, man, you know.
When we pulled up, we're like, holy shit. Buja Banton's here in fucking in the valley. But that's the shit that's happening now because of the COVID. People are trying to be more creative and do shit like that.
It's great. And keep it up, man. The creative people, the creative talent will rise, man, for sure.
Is there one thing you learned during this thing besides being something you taught yourself during the lockdown or something that you changed in yourself?
You know what is weird? I learned it in Big Brother, what was patience. And because when I was in that house, you're in there with no news, no TV, no internet, no nothing.
That sounds wonderful right now.
Well, but it's kind of, it prepared me for this. Just, it slowed me down. Like when planes are delayed, I'm like, big deal. Before I was like, oh my God, calling my wife, can you believe, oh my God. And she's like, I don't want to hear this stuff. You know, and so it made me settle down, dial in and go, okay, I'm going to get to know, I'm really going to, you know, just enjoy this time with my kids because I'm gone so much, you know.
Yeah, that's another thing. You really test your relationships when you're on this lockdown.
Without a doubt.
Because we're always coming and going. My wife's like, the reason why we've been married 25 years is because you leave and then you come back, we get to miss each other. But now, like, you're on top of each other.
Right.
That's a real challenge, too, making it through it.
And you have to learn to connect to that, and you're going to get on each other's nerves, but you have to learn how to get back, too, you know. So, I mean, that's been a blessing, connecting with my wife and my kids.
Yeah. Well, fuck. One day we're gonna play music. Maybe there'll be a Sugar Ray Sepultura H2O show somewhere.
I love it.
That'd be fucking.
If you guys
crazy.
come on Royal Machines, man, like I've got you guys almost committing to it. Almost.
Yeah, I'm down. It'd be fun to do something like that.
Just to play with Josh Freese is a treat, man.
Yeah, he's fucking. He's playing like with Devo now or something.
Plays with Devo, Vandals, Weezer, Sublime, Sting. He's Sting's drummer.
Oh, that's right. Man.
Imagine being Sting's drummer.
That's
you know
right.
how good you have to be.
And Tool, maybe.
He was in Tool
for
the other band,
Perfect
Circle.
Perfect Circle, yeah.
He was in Guns N' Roses for a second.
Oh, that's
He's
right,
been
man.
in everything, man. He's just a great guy, a great drummer.
Well, thank you for coming, giving me your
Toby.
time and sharing your life with me today and talking. And it's great to catch up with you. And all the best to you, my friend.
Absolute pleasure, dude.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Oh, what can they find? Which Instagram?
My Instagram's at the real Mark McGrath. And I know that's cheesy. I'm sorry. At the real Mark McGrath.
Check out his robe chats. They're awesome.
Yeah, little robe chats. Get up in the morning, have a coffee that you no longer drink, and hit me up. And also I'm also on Twitter at Mark_McGrath. So love to hear from you guys.
Awesome, man.
Thank
you,
Toby.
brother. Peace.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, check microphone. Check.
A man who respects other people's time. I love that. I love that.
Yo, long time no speak. We're back on the
too long, brother. Way too long.
We're back on the podcast. I appreciate. So we spent 3 hours together. Longer than I could talk to you all day, but there was a couple.
I feel the same way, dude. I feel the same way. I felt like we barely scratched the surface, and I wanted to ask you so many things. It's just, I think it's the beginning of a friendship. So
100%. Me too. I agree. Three questions left, and the first one was I didn't even ask you yesterday. Where did the name Sugar Ray come from?
Sugar Ray came from Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm a huge, Sugar Ray Leonard. Believe it or not, I'm a huge boxing fan, and we were originally called the Shrinky Dinks.
Yep.
Okay, now the Shrinky Dinks are a toy. I don't know if you remember or if you're old enough to remember, but they were this crazy toy you would cut into little plastic shapes, and then you would put them in a scalding hot oven as a child and watch them kind of, turn into this little weird plastic creature. I don't know.
I do remember those.
Remember, and I don't know how an oven figured into a child's toy somehow, but that was the 70s. It was a different vibe back then. So we got signed as the Shrinky Dinks. And when Atlantic Records heard about that, they go, oh, that's great. You're the Shrinky Dinks. That's fantastic. Here's our licensing deal. It's $1 million a year. You need to sell this many units, and then we get this percentage. And we're like, oh my God. We learned our first lessons about trademarks. And we went, you know what? I think we'll call our 12 fans and let them know we're changing our name so there won't be any confusion. And I always, kind of used to just abuse the band with my sports references. We have a song called Iron Mike about Mike Tyson, We wrote a song called Dr. J. I mean, all these crazy things. And so I convinced him on Sugar Ray because to me it was my first sports memory. Sugar Ray Leonard winning the '76 Olympics was just in Montreal. Was when I was living back east, actually in Connecticut.
Yeah.
It was so just indelible in my brain. So I just, how about Sugar Ray, man? It's like a piece of Americana. It's kind of like Ford. It's a big brand. It's a big strong name. It could be like a pimp on a street, like in Cleveland, and they kind of bought that. So I think again, like with most band names, Toby, it was the one that everybody hated the least at the end of the day.
No, it's a great name, and I should have thought about that. Sugar Ray. That's fucking pretty simple to think about. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, because no one looks at me like I'm some kind of fighter. You know what I mean? I'm the biggest pussy you know. But I love the pugilistic skills. I love MMA. I love watching boxing my whole life. So I've just been a fan, and I was able to. But you know what's the craziest thing, Toby? Sugar Ray Leonard never trademarked the name.
Oh wow!
Never trademarked the name, and for like the last couple of years, his legal team has been trying to say, "Hey man, can we just use the Sugar Ray? Can we buy it off you, or because he wants to go out and do some live performances and stuff." And we go, "Dude, we can use Sugar Ray Leonard all day. There's no problem there. I'm a huge fan, but all we got is our trademark. And we went through a legal battle with some of the ex-members. So, I know how valuable and expensive it is to keep. So we're like, bro, I will never come after you, Sugar Ray Leonard. I named my band after you, but I can't give you my trademark, bro. I can't give you my trademark as much as I love you. Yeah, it was really crazy.
And then another one. Do you remember your first show? Because one of my closest friends told me yesterday he booked your first show in New York at the Wetlands.
That's the absolute truth, too. That's
awesome.
The absolute truth.
Great venue.
Who was the guy that booked? Forgive me. Who was the guy that did it?
He's my friend. My friend Jake. He books all the shows. Now he books like boat shows where like hardcore bands and punk bands play on a boat around Manhattan. He's been booking shows since. Yeah, great human. So that's awesome. Small world.
Wetlands was such a great band. I think I forgot to mention Danny Diablo's a guy I got to kind of know over social media, and I love that.
That's dude. My brother, man.
He's the greatest dude. He sent me all this merch from Force 5 Records and Scarhead, and just awesome. the nicest. I mean, I just love that dude, man.
So cool,
I love your podcast you did. But they had played like the night before. I think it was Crown of Thorns or it might have been Scarhead. I'm not sure was there, and they were just saying how crazy the show was. There was still blood on the floor. We're like, what are we doing, man? We got to get out of New York. But
oh my God,
Wetlands was one of the first shows we played.
Great venue.
But the first gig I ever saw, bro, I remember going to was the Go-Go's in Adam Ant. And that was at the Forum, and that might have to do something with us covering Stand and Deliver on our Floored record that we talked about.
Yeah. That's a great first show. Wow.
Yeah, right. And the Go-Go's were, Go-Go's have such a punk rock background.
Totally.
The pedigree is people don't really realize that because they became like the Shirelles. They became the biggest pop band in the world. Yeah. But I mean, they used to stay at the Canterbury. They were there during the Mass days. They're a real part of the whole history of certainly Los Angeles punk rock. Smelling something in the air, and I'm like, "What's that pungent smell?" To my sister, and she's like, "Don't worry about it." That was my first smell of weed in my life. So,
oh my God,
that was my first show, man.
That Go-Go's doc that's out right now is incredible on Netflix.
It's unbelievable.
It's so good, man. It's crazy. Belinda Carlisle didn't write any of the songs. That shit's crazy.
It's insane, dude. And like you can see, you and I talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, man.
When someone writes the songs and she accidentally saw one, I think Charlotte's checks at the manager's office, and it was for like $1 million, and she's like, "What?"
Yeah.
So publishing, I don't care how close you are, and the Go-Go's are still together, basically the original members.
Yeah,
so
totally.
They were able to survive that, but money rears its ugly head. I don't care how or what you started from, man. It changes the dynamic, dude. It just does, and hopefully you can get through to the other side.
Yeah. Okay, and the final one is that so yesterday my boy's like, "Oh, yeah, Mark, did you ask him about this?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Then he showed me a picture, and then I immediately texted you last night. So and I know we both Madonna fans. I have a Madonna portrait. We covered Like a Prayer. Guy Oseri tried signing us. Came to see us at the CBGB's at the showcase, and then and then end up not signing us, and they went with somebody else who was more harder. I think it was not Nickelback. No, who did they sign instead of us? It was somebody who was like more like rock appeal. Anyway,
was it Candlebox?
yes,
Yeah.
They came to our showcase, Ready to Man. Guy Oseri saw us play CBs. So it was a sick show, and then we got later on found out they chose them. Anyway, it was exciting because I love Madonna. Met her a couple times. She was trying to sign Rancid. Met her at CBGB's once at a Cypress Hill show. Have a tattoo. Ended up being a Madonna coffee table book I have in my house. A story about me meeting. Yeah, so like, and there's a lot there. So then when I find out yesterday, like supposedly you dated Madonna.
Yeah. The greatest rumor of all time that I have never once tried to dispel. You know, what are you going to say? No. So I never said yes or no. I was super coy about it. This was back in like 97, 98. And ironically, it's the same night that Sugar Day video went down. If you're familiar with that brilliant piece of work.
Okay.
So what happened was, you know, Madonna, legend. We all love her. You love her. I love her. You know, this was about 96, 97, no internet, no cell phones. And the only entertainment sort of vehicles were the rags, the tabloids, or the, the news programs, the extras, the Entertainment Tonights. So Madonna was like one of the only superstars that, paparazzi followed around. They followed her. They followed Michael Jackson. They followed, Brad Pitt. But, there wasn't like it is today where like, TikTok, there's like TikTok paparazzi out in front of like Boa or something.
YouTubers, everything.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. Totally different animal back then. And so not only there was a bunch of paparazzi, there was a bunch of just kind of hang-arounders and creeps and vibers and all this weird stuff. So she was having a party, and Madonna, she rolls with her gay dancers and all that. They roll thick, and they're all rad, charismatic, and colorful and fun.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of hanging in the club. I know Guy Oseri, so that was kind of the way I got in there. Fly had hit, so I was kind of getting invited to the parties for the first time, and celebrities all brand new for me, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting with Madonna, and we're kind of hanging out. And first of all, I can't believe I'm hanging out with Madonna. And we're kind of flirting a little bit, doing our little thing. And I was the hot shit for 1 5-second period.
People Magazine's sexiest rock star. We know that. Yes.
Of 98, bro. 98. I don't want to brag. I don't want to. I gotta get that tattooed now. That'd be fucking crazy.
Got to, bro. Okay, go ahead.
But so we're sitting there, and I saw some of the guys that were kind of with the paparazzi and the other group of individuals inside the bar. So Madonna goes, "Listen, we walk in my car. It's a little crazy." And I go, "Of course I will." Thinking Molotov. It's about 2:30 in the morning now, and I'm lit, dude. I mean, I know you don't drink, but I'm Jameson out and probably a few other things out. Yeah. And I'm walking to her car, and there's a bunch of people, Madonna, ba ba ba, and then people are yelling and screaming, trying to get autographs. And I'm like, I've never experienced this before in my life, Toby. Never. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what superstardom is. And I'm kind of feeling myself, and I'm walking with Madonna, and I take her to her car, and she's very savvy. So she gave me like a kiss on the cheek, and I put her in the car, and I go, that was it, Yeah. And so, there's kind of two parts. So I walked back, and as soon as she got in the car and left, all of a sudden the vitriol and the bullying and this insanity started. Like people started, dropping F-bombs, and some of the gay folks that were with her were getting a little intimidated and running back in the crowd. And it was just getting bullying, dude. Like, look, I hate bullying. I hate all that. I hate using the word gay as meaning less than. Yeah. You know what I mean? Homophobia always really to the core bothered me, man. Truly. And so I was laying in the cut. I'm like, God, this sucks, man. God, what a bummer. I guess that's what it's like to be a superstar. Then suddenly some dude who was in the bar that night goes, "Hey, Sugar Gay," and I just kind of had enough, and I was just drunk and stupid enough to react like the biggest moron, loser, tough guy. I mean, you can see why I'm not a tough guy. I didn't even know what to say. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna pinch your nipples off your face or something. I didn't know what to say. So it led to this whole weird thing. But somehow, Toby, as life has gone on, that this guy who I kind of was like, just yelling at, he stayed 12 years old, and it'll say like Mark McGrath yells at an 11-year-old. But that kid was in the club that night. So that was where that kind of video came from. But the other part about the Madonna thing, I'm going to have to kind of go back in history here. The next night, like in 98 or whenever that was, Entertainment Tonight. Extra. Access Hollywood was like, Ricky Martin's out, Mark McGrath in, Madonna's new boy toy, seeing out leaving, and so like,
holy shit.
there's where the rumor started. And dude, I got to see her a few more times at places, and we'd sit, hang out, and put arm, takes pictures, and she's very savvy. I wasn't getting in the way of this thing at all. So I never said yes or no, dude. I never I go, this is the best rumor ever. But now that's gone away so long, nothing ever happened. We're homies. We're friends. I love Guy. I get to go to that really cool party once a year after the Oscars up at their spot, the Madonna and Guy have.
Oh, wow. That's cool, man.
Just good people. But yeah,
I'm going to have to be your date. I'm going to have to be your date next year for that.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I would love to have you. She'll remember you because you're the tattoo guy to her, right?
For sure. Yeah. So I wonder how much.
That's the case. Yeah. That's the case of never letting the truth get in the way of a good story.
Yeah,
right there.
I mean, that's a sick story. That's like, I wonder how much they sold that photo for. They must have sold that photo for so much money. Madonna, oh my God, dude.
Dude, it was in all the. First of all, they had video of it, so they sold video to Entertainment Tonight, they sold to Extra, all those things, and then it was in Us Weekly and all these things. And news moved slower then; the cycle was a lot longer.
Yeah.
So, those magazines were up there for a week. I was being super coy about it.
People hitting you up. People hitting you up like crazy.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, you kidding, dude? Because she's the biggest superstar in the world, dude. Now I'm just starting to take a sniff up there, like in the top 10. Like this. Yeah. And people are like, God damn. And, people I knew from high school, and we used to like dress as Duran Duran, and the girls are dressed as Madonna are calling me going, oh my God, people are tripping, dude. Are you kidding me? Because they thought I was dating her. They thought we were dating, which added a whole nother layer to it.
And she doesn't care. She doesn't care about rumors like that either. She'll roll with it too, probably. She doesn't care. You know what I mean?
Oh, she doesn't give a shit. She knows exactly. She's the most savvy human being I have ever had the pleasure of knowing in my life. She knows every bit of what's going to happen. Nothing's contrived. Everything's real, but she knows what's the outcome of every move she makes. Really, bro, you're not relevant for 4 decades without being incredibly smart and savvy as well as talented.
100%. My brother told me today he was at a private event at Irving Plaza where you guys played, and I guess you were really drunk, and you came on stage and said something about Madonna. Kind of hinted you got something like just a joke or something. He was there. He told me that today. It's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, I was blacked out. I shouldn't have been on stage that night. I think I said really something stupid that definitely perpetuated that whole thing. That was all part of it. When someone says you're going with Madonna, you ride that thing until someone proves you're not going out with her.
Yeah, that's pretty correct. That's pretty. I'm glad we talked about that because when I heard the yes, I was like, oh my God, how come I didn't know this? Oh my God, like. That's a big deal, man.
Yeah, I was going to bring it up because you brought her up, and I knew you were such a huge fan. Yeah. And we were just going 100 miles an hour and talking about so much fun things that I just forgot to even circle back to it.
And then if you really had got with it, we would never talked about it online. But I would have definitely came to your house today and asked all kinds of questions off the podcast.
Dude, I do that. No problem, man.
Oh
no
my God, dude! If that you really date us,
I'm an open book.
I know. I appreciate. I was talking about you today with my friends, like how honest you are, humble. You're not afraid to be yourself. You don't give a fuck what people think. You're always done you, and it's really inspiring, man. It's really I don't know. I have a whole newfound respect for you because I've met you many times throughout my life or whatever. But just hanging out with you yesterday, just bonding with you like that, and hearing your story, I have a whole nother. You're on a different level for me now, and I was texting Everlast about it yesterday, and yeah, I had who else? I texted Dick yesterday and said you said some good things about him. So yeah, man, I feel like now you're fucking. Now we're chilling, bro. Now I can't wait to hang out with you again. It's awesome.
Well, that warms my heart, Toby, truly, because I felt the same way about you. And we've met a few times, on passing ships tonight type thing. But to really sit down and listen to your podcast and just hear what you were about, God, that guy is really deep, and what a great listener and what a great storyteller, and you seem to have so much love in you, dude, and so much positivity that I'm just attracted to that source. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a beautiful thing to have. And dude, I was on just after I left your thing, I forgot I had like a 3:00 Zoom meeting with this dude, and he's kind of working for TikTok now, and his name's Brian.
Brian Frank, it's a friend of mine. He texted me yesterday.
Yes, and the nicest dude ever. And I'm like, I go, dude, I just barely made this. I just got off a podcast. And he goes, which one? I go, you probably might not know the dude. He's in a band called H2O. And I thought it would end right there. He goes, Toby? I go, yeah. He goes, my best friend. And so, the nicest guy in the world, too.
Yeah, Brian Frank goes back. He's worked with Fu Manchu, Blink, everybody, man. Like he's a New Yorker, man. Yeah, he's fucking, yeah, man.
But he's so down to earth and
he's so chill
and a baller too, dude. You know,
yeah, and
so it's a
super
great
humble. He was
combination.
involved in like starting like Beats Music with Trent Reznor over there. Like he's done a lot of shit, man. He's official, man, for sure. He texted me yesterday. He was super psyched. Like such a small world, you know.
Crazy, dude. Imagine that. And he was saying he worked the first shit around. He was working at Atlantic. So that's just that's
He told me that yesterday. Yeah, like the Corn tour. He was at the Irving Plaza show or something. He said, yeah.
Yes. That's the earth talking, my friend.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's people connecting. You know.
Well, fuck, man.
What did Everlast say when you hit him up, dude?
I told him he was saying good things. Like, yeah, he's like that's my dude. He says, yeah, he sent me some text yesterday. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's like he's interested. Everlasting, he get in a mood every now and then. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
if you catch him on the perfect wave, like he's all
no,
right.
he knows. No, he knows. No, he's like, that's my dude. Like you guys go back and stuff. Those tours. He said we talked about the tour and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we go back far. Now, just like I said, it's weird when you such a fan of someone and you become a friend. You know, it's such a
dude.
crazy thing, and the guy just delivers. And to see him become a dad and what he's gone through, and really, hats off to that dude.
Well, fuck, man, Mark. Thank you so much again. Day 2 on the podcast. This is gonna be like the long. Now it's over 3 hours for sure. So I might just drop the whole fucking thing on Monday, or maybe I do part 1 and 2. Who knows? But I'm excited.
Yeah, me too, brother. I'm really excited to be part of it. Let me know, and I'll do well. Try to move a little needle I can on my end.
No, I appreciate that. Now I'll be in touch off the podcast to get up with you and get some food and all that stuff soon for sure.
I would love that, man. Sounds like a plan.
Thank you for being an open book and being honest and telling these stories and giving your time on this podcast. And I think the listeners are going to be, I think they're going to be like me when I was telling my friends today about like my conversation with you. People maybe only know Mark McGrath in a certain way or a time or, you know what I'm saying? But just having the conversation you in 2020 and knowing your whole story and everything and your roots coming from the same world I'm coming from, all that. It's really cool. And I think people would be pleasantly surprised, man. I really do.
Well, I really hope so, and I appreciate you.
And if they don't, fuck them.
To do it.
I had a great time, and I love you, so it doesn't matter. It's not my podcast.
I feel the same way, dude. You know, but people do have a preconception about me, and I understand that. You know, I've done a lot of lame things. I understand that, but I sometimes when I am fortunate enough to get on a podcast, and certainly one as as cool as yours is, sometimes perceptions change. Like, wow, I thought that guy was gonna be a gigantic douche. And it turned out to be pretty cool. So
you're a normal fucking dad. You're a humble cat. You've been through a lot of shit. You grinded. You stayed yourself. And fucking whatever people think are lame. What I always say, what was their band called? A lot of people want to judge and say things, but what have they really done? Like you fucking grinded from day one, and you worked hard to be where you're at. So that's the reality, you know.
You're right, dude. We were kind of talking about it. At my age, at 52, to do something you love to do for a living, man.
Yeah.
Call me a douche, man. Ouch. I'm not. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? What else you got? So it's all good, and there's enough like-minded folks out there, and people that know that get it. And that's all I need, man. You know what I mean? So
for sure,
it's all love, dude.
All right, brother. I'm gonna hit you up soon, man. Great. Thank you once again,
Toby.
man. All right, brother.
Be good, my brother.
Okay, bye.
Take care.
Bye. Hey guys, thanks for listening. Please rate, review. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet to this podcast. Please do that. And whatever platform you are listening to this on, I'm glad you found me. You can rate me and review me on there also. So thank you guys sincerely for the support. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the next one.